18 perennials so easy it feels like cheating. Hey there, fellow garden dreamers. Welcome back to Earthly Delights, the place where green thumbs bloom and even brown thumbs get a second chance. If you've ever found yourself staring at a wilted plant wondering what went wrong, or maybe you've avoided gardening altogether because you think you don't have the time, energy, or know-how to make things grow, this one's for you. You might be a busy parent, a city dweller with just a tiny patio, or someone simply craving a little beauty without the burnout. Today, we're diving into a list that honestly feels like nature's cheat sheet. 18 perennials so easy, it feels like cheating. These are plants that practically take care of themselves. No constant watering, no fancy soil, no complicated pruning rituals. Whether you're brand new to plants or you've killed more than you'd like to admit, we're about to change that. Ready to turn your garden into a low-maintenance paradise? Then stick around and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a tip from Earthly Delights. Let's get growing. Part 1, color that comes back. No work needed. Let's kick things off with a burst of color that keeps coming back year after year with barely a finger lifted. These perennials aren't just beautiful, they're reliable, tough, and forgiving. If you've ever wished your garden could thrive even when life gets busy, these are your new best friends. 1. Black-eyed Susan. Meet the golden sunshine of the perennial world. Black-eyed Susan. This cheerful, daisy-like flower is more than just a pretty face. It thrives in zones 3 through 9, loves full sun, and isn't picky about soil, as long as it drains well. But here's the real magic. Once established, it practically takes care of itself. Forget to water? No problem. Skip the pruning? It keeps blooming anyway. From midsummer to fall, it bursts with vibrant yellow petals and dark centers that light up your garden like a sunset. And the best part? It self-seeds gently, creating new blooms without you lifting a finger. For busy gardeners, forgetful waterers, or anyone who just wants a little joy without the hassle, Black-eyed Susan is a gift. It's the kind of plant that keeps giving, even when life gets chaotic. If you're just starting your low-maintenance garden journey, this is the one to plant first. It forgives, it flourishes, and it makes you look like a pro. 2. Blanket flower. If your garden craves bold, fiery color without all the extra work, the blanket flower might be your soulmate. Hardy in zones 3 through 10, this perennial thrives in full sun and, get this, poor, dry soil. That's right, it actually prefers the tough conditions that make other plants wither. With its flame-like petals in shades of red, orange, and yellow, the blanket flower looks like summer captured in bloom. It doesn't need deadheading, it doesn't wilt in heat, and it keeps flowering non-stop from early summer right into fall. Talk about stamina. Even if you forget to water for a week or two, it won't hold a grudge. And for those of you who think gardening success is only for experts, blanket flower proves otherwise. It thrives on neglect, turning even the busiest backyard or the most beginner gardener into a blooming success story. Just plant it and let it dazzle. 3. Coneflower. The coneflower is a true garden classic, but don't let its popularity fool you. This plant earns its fame with good reason. Hardy in zones 3 through 9, it thrives in full sun and doesn't mind poor or dry soil. Once it takes root, it's fiercely independent. No daily watering or pampering required. What makes coneflower so special is its long-lasting blooms, which now come in more than just purple. You'll find varieties in bold orange, soft pink, sunshine yellow, and even green. It's a pollinator magnet, drawing in bees and butterflies all summer long. And when autumn arrives, its seed heads become a buffet for birds. If you're someone who wants color, wildlife, and low maintenance all in one tidy plant, coneflower delivers. It's ideal for those of you juggling busy schedules but still craving a connection to nature. Reliable, resilient, and rewarding. This is the kind of perennial that turns I can't garden into look what I grew. 4. Bee balm. Looking to bring a little life and movement to your garden? Bee balm is your go-to. Hardy in zones 4 through 9, this perennial thrives in full sun to partial shade and prefers moist, well-drained soil. But don't worry, it's not fussy. Its vibrant, spiky blooms burst in red, purple, pink or white, and act like a beacon for hummingbirds, bees, and butterflies. It's a living invitation to pollinators, turning your space into a buzzing, fluttering sanctuary. And for those concerned about messy spreaders, don't stress. Bee balm spreads slowly and politely, making it easy to manage. Newer varieties are even resistant to powdery mildew, so there's no fussing over leaf problems. If you love the idea of creating a garden that hums with life, but don't have time to micromanage it, bee balm is your colorful, carefree solution. Plant it once and enjoy seasons of motion, color, and joy without the stress. 5. Balloon flower. If you have never seen a flower puff up like a tiny balloon before it blooms, you're in for a treat. The balloon flower is a whimsical, easygoing perennial that kids and adults alike fall in love with. Hardy in zones 3 through 8, it thrives in full sun to partial shade and asks for nothing more than well-drained soil. Its balloon-like buds swell until they burst open into beautiful star-shaped blue, purple, or white flowers. But here's the best part. It doesn't need dividing, deadheading, or pruning. It grows in tidy clumps and returns year after year without fuss. This makes it perfect for people who love surprise and charm in their garden, but don't want to be tied down by constant care. Whether you're working with a backyard, a small garden bed, or even a container, balloon flower is a low-maintenance joy that brings a bit of magic to every bloom cycle. Just plant it, forget it, and smile when it pops open. 6. Salvia. Salvia is that effortlessly elegant plant that manages to look stunning while demanding next to nothing in return. Hardy in zones 4 through 9, this perennial loves full sun and well-drained soil, and once established, it's practically drought-proof. Its rich purple or deep blue flower spikes rise like sentinels above fragrant green foliage, adding vertical drama and vibrant color to any garden space. But beyond its looks, salvia is a pollinator magnet. Bees, butterflies, and even hummingbirds can't resist it. And if deer or rabbits frequent your area, good news, they tend to skip salvia entirely. For gardeners who crave structure and color without a profound maintenance, salvia is a dream come true. You don't need to fertilize, baby, or replant it. Just give it a sunny spot, and it will reward you with waves of color and gentle motion all summer long. Perfect for busy lives and beautiful results. Part 2. Texture and foliage that wins year-round. Year-round. Not all beauty in the garden comes from flowers. In this next part, we're shifting our focus to foliage, the kind that adds texture, color, and contrast long after blooms fade. These perennials are steady, stylish, and stay interesting in every season, making your space feel alive even when nothing's in bloom. 7. Lamb's ear. Lamb's ear is like a soft whisper in your garden, subtle, silvery, and completely irresistible to touch. Hardy in zones 4 through 9, this plant loves full sun and dry, well-drained soil. Its velvety leaves, shaped like little ears, form a low, dense carpet that stays attractive all season long. Kids love its softness, pets ignore it, and gardeners adore how effortlessly it fills in bare spots. While it's grown mostly for its texture, lamb's ear surprises in late spring with tall, fuzzy spikes of lavender-purple flowers that attract bees and add vertical charm. But even without blooms, it shines. It's evergreen in warmer climates, and in cooler zones, it bounces back easily each spring. If you're someone who wants a tidy, eye-catching plant that never demands your attention, lamb's ear is the perfect companion. Just plant it along walkways, borders, or containers, and let its soft beauty speak for itself. 8. Coral bells, Heuchera. Coral bells, also known as Heuchera, bring a splash of color where most flowers fear to bloom: shade. Hardy in zones 4 through 9, these perennials are grown primarily for their stunning foliage, which comes in an incredible range of hues: deep burgundy, lime green, peach, silver, even near black. Their leaves form neat, low mounds that stay vibrant from spring through fall, and in summer they send up delicate flower spikes that sway gently in the breeze. But here's the real magic: they thrive in partial shade, tolerate heat and humidity, and are impressively low maintenance. They're perfect for adding color to shady borders, under trees, or in containers where flowers might struggle. If you're a design-minded gardener or someone who wants constant color without chasing blooms, coral bells are a must. They don't need much fuss, just a bit of admiration as they quietly elevate your garden's texture and tone all season long. 9. Sedum, often called stone crop, is the ultimate set-it-and-forget-it plant. Hardy in zones 3 through 9, this succulent-style perennial thrives in full sun and practically any well-drained soil. Even sandy, rocky, or dry spots most plants would reject. Its thick, fleshy leaves store water, making it incredibly drought-tolerant and resilient. And when late summer arrives, sedum rewards your patience with clusters of starry blooms in shades of pink, red, or white that last well into fall. Varieties like Autumn Joy are garden staples, but newer types like Lime Zinger or Firecracker bring even more visual flair. Sedum is tidy, slow-growing, and resists pests and disease, making it ideal for borders, rock gardens, or low-maintenance beds. If you're someone who forgets to water or just wants a plant that looks good even when it's not in bloom, sedum is your dependable friend. It's tough, stylish, and effortlessly charming, just like your dream garden. 10. Fernleaf Bleeding Heart. Fernleaf Bleeding Heart is the romantic soul of the shade garden. Graceful, delicate in appearance, but surprisingly tough underneath. Unlike the traditional bleeding heart that fades after spring, this variety blooms from late spring through summer, offering heart-shaped pink or red flowers that dangle like tiny lanterns. Hardy in zones 3 through 9, it loves partial to full shade and thrives in moist, well-drained soil. Its finely divided, fern-like foliage adds a soft, feathery texture that stays fresh even in summer heat. What makes it a low-maintenance dream? It doesn't go dormant mid-season like its cousins and requires no pruning to keep looking great. For gardeners who want elegance in shady corners, or those seeking a touch of charm beneath trees or alongside hostas, Fernleaf Bleeding Heart delivers long-lasting beauty with almost zero effort. If your garden feels too quiet or dark, this plant will light it up with both bloom and soul. 11. Hellebore, Lenten Rose. Hellebore, often called Lenten Rose, is the quiet hero of the winter and early spring garden. Hardy in zones 4 through 9, this evergreen perennial blooms when almost nothing else dares to, sometimes even pushing through snow. Its nodding, rose-like flowers come in rich shades of burgundy, cream, pink, green, and speckled variations, bringing color to the coldest months. It thrives in partial to full shade and loves moist, rich, well-drained soil. But once established, it's remarkably drought-tolerant and low-fuss. One of its best features? Deer and rabbits leave it alone, making it a peaceful choice for untouchable elegance. And unlike annuals that need replacing, hellebores get better with age, forming larger clumps that return stronger each year. If you're a gardener who wants early season magic without winter blues, or someone looking to add structure and resilience to shady beds, hellebore is a must-have. Plant it once, and you'll be rewarded when you need beauty the most. 12. Hardy Geranium, Cranesbill. Don't confuse this beauty with the common annual geranium. Hardy geranium, also called cranesbill, is a perennial powerhouse that brings carefree charm to any garden. Hardy in zones 4 through 9, it thrives in full sun to partial shade and prefers moist, well-drained soil, though it can adapt to tougher conditions once established. Its rounded mounding habit makes it perfect for borders, walkways, and even containers. The delicate flowers, ranging from violet and pink to blue and white, bloom from spring well into summer, sometimes with a second flush later in the season. What makes hardy geraniums so beloved is how little they ask of you. No deadheading, no dividing, no constant care. Just plant them and let them do their thing. They resist pests and diseases, and their attractive foliage turns golden in the fall for added seasonal interest. If you want a plant that bridges beauty and ease, hardy geranium quietly becomes one of the most rewarding choices you'll ever make. Part 3. Easy breezy bloomers for busy people. Now it's time to meet the bloomers that seem almost too good to be true. These perennials are for anyone juggling a full life, work, family, or simply the desire to relax more and stress less. They thrive on neglect, burst with color, and ask for nearly nothing in return. Ready for low-effort, high-impact beauty? Let's go. 13. Daylilies. If you've ever said, "I can't keep anything alive," then daylilies are here to prove you wrong. Hardy in zones 3 through 10, these garden workhorses thrive in full sun to partial shade and aren't picky about soil, as long as it drains. Daylilies are famous for their tough-as-nails nature and incredible range of color. From sunny yellows to deep purples, they bloom in waves throughout summer, with each blossom lasting just a day. But don't worry, more are always on the way. Varieties like Stella d'Oro bloom repeatedly and require almost no upkeep. You don't need to divide them often, and they bounce back from drought, neglect, or even accidental mowing like champions. For anyone who's short on time, patience, or confidence, daylilies offer a vibrant, forgiving path into gardening. Plant them in clusters for a full, colorful effect, then sit back and let them do what they do best: shine without stress. 14. Coreopsis tickseed. Coreopsis, often affectionately called tickseed, is like planting sunshine straight into your garden. Hardy in zones 4 through 9, it thrives in full sun and handles dry, sandy, or even rocky soil with ease. This perennial is the definition of cheerful. Its daisy-like blooms come in sunny yellows, warm oranges, soft pinks, and even bicolor blends that seem to glow in the landscape. What makes Coreopsis a favorite for busy gardeners is its nearly non-stop blooming habit, from early summer all the way into fall, with minimal effort on your part. No constant deadheading, no special fertilizers, and no drama. It stands tall without flopping, resists pests, and invites butterflies to dance around it. Whether you're trying to fill in bare spots, add lasting color, or create a pollinator paradise, Coreopsis rises to the challenge. For those who want their garden to feel vibrant but low maintenance, this sunny bloomer is the ultimate secret weapon. 15. Yarrow. Yarrow is the kind of plant that thrives on being left alone and still ends up stealing the spotlight. Hardy in zones 3 through 9, it loves full sun and actually prefers poor, dry soil where many other plants would struggle. Its fern-like foliage adds soft texture to your garden, while its flat-topped flower clusters bloom in shades of white, yellow, pink, red, and even coral. These blooms last for weeks and make excellent cut flowers or dried arrangements. Yarrow is a magnet for butterflies and bees, and it's tough enough to handle heat, drought, and neglect. It's ideal for cottage gardens, wildflower meadows, or anyone wanting to naturalize part of their yard with minimal effort. You don't need to pamper it. It spreads gently over time and keeps coming back stronger each year. If you've got a patch of land you'd love to turn into something beautiful with almost zero maintenance, Yarrow is ready to rise to the occasion. It's beauty, endurance, and ease, all in one. 16. Catmint. Nepeta. Catmint is one of those rare plants that manages to be sudden, fragrant, and tough all at once. Hardy in zones 3 through 9, it thrives in full sun to partial shade and prefers well-drained, even dry soil. Its lavender blue flower spikes bloom for months, starting in late spring and often continuing well into summer. The silvery green foliage gives off a soothing minty aroma when brushed, making it a perfect plant to place near patios, walkways, or garden benches. Best of all, it's deer and rabbit resistant, drought tolerant, and needs almost no care beyond a quick trim if it gets too leggy. Varieties like Walker's Low or Cat's Pajamas offer compact, tidy growth ideal for borders or containers. If you're someone who wants gentle color, calming scent, and graceful movement in your garden without fuss or frustration, catmint is a perfect pick. It's charming, resilient, and a true friend to both gardeners and pollinators alike. 17. Dwarf phlox. Dwarf phlox is proof that good things come in small, fragrant packages. Hardy in zones 3 through 9, this low-growing perennial spreads like a soft, floral carpet and thrives in full sun with well-drained soil. It bursts into bloom in spring with dense clusters of 5-petaled flowers in shades of pink, white, lavender, or even electric blue, spilling over garden walls, rocks, or edging with ease. What makes it a standout for low-maintenance gardeners is how little it asks. No deadheading, no constant watering, and no fuss. It's perfect for tucking between stepping stones, covering slopes, or adding a soft border to raised beds and walkways. The flowers attract butterflies, while the compact foliage stays tidy year-round. If you're short on space but big on charm, dwarf phlox delivers maximum visual impact with minimal effort. For busy plant lovers or those new to gardening, this plant offers a gentle, blooming start to your low-stress garden journey. 18. Ice plant. The ice plant is a dazzling little survivor that thrives where others give up. Hardy in zones 5 through 10, this low-growing succulent loves full sun and sandy, well-drained soil. Its fleshy, water-storing leaves shimmer with a frosty sheen, hence the name, and stay vibrant even during dry spells. But the real show begins in summer when it erupts into a carpet of neon blooms in shades of magenta, orange, yellow, or hot pink. These daisy-like flowers open wide under the sun and close at night, creating a garden that feels alive and responsive. Ice plant is perfect for rock gardens, hot patios, and those tricky dry spots where nothing seems to grow. It's deer-resistant, heat-loving, and virtually maintenance-free. For anyone who loves bold color, unique texture, and a touch of playfulness without the hassle, ice plant delivers in spades. Just give it sunlight, space to sprawl, and enjoy the show. It's easy gardening at its most vibrant. Beauty without burnout. And there you have it, 18 perennials so easy it honestly feels like cheating. From the fiery blooms of blanket flower to the cool velvety touch of lamb's ear, from winter-defying hellebores to the neon bursts of ice plant, these plants prove that gardening doesn't have to be hard to be rewarding. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by all the rules of gardening, or you've been discouraged by plants that didn't make it, let this list remind you, you don't need perfection. You just need the right plants. The ones that thrive even when life gets messy. The ones that bloom again, year after year, quietly doing their thing while you focus on yours. Whether you're a beginner planting your first flower bed, a busy parent balancing a full schedule, or someone rediscovering the joy of digging in the dirt, there's a plant on this list for you. These are the kinds of perennials that meet you where you are and make you fall in love with gardening all over again. So tell me, which of these 18 beauties are you adding to your garden next? Or maybe you've already grown some of them and have a favorite to recommend. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your plans, and your garden wins in the comments below. If this video inspired you, made you smile, or gave you an idea for your own space, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to Earthly Delights for more easy, no-stress gardening tips. We're building a community where beauty grows naturally, one plant at a time. Until next time, keep planting joy.